January 13th, please rise for a moment of silence followed by the pledge of allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have roll call, please.
Vice President Geary.
Here.
Councilor Kirkland.
Here.
Councilor Tuck. Here. Councilor Miller. Here. Councilor Coxell.
Here.
President Trainee.
Here.
Councilor Williams.
Here.
And Mayor Thomas. Here. There's a quorum.
I have a motion to approve the December 4th, 2013 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion or corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do I have a motion for the December 9th, 2013 council meeting minutes? So moved. Second. It's been moved and seconded. Any changes? Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Citizens' comments.
Aram Ecker.
Please be reminded, 3 minutes.
Well, obviously, a lot of you know who I am, Aram Ecker. But I thought it'd be a good idea if I showed up tonight because I realized I didn't formally introduce myself to our new counselors, Ryan and Charles. So I'm Aram Ecker. I'm just here because it's hard to believe that 5 years has gone by and my 5-year term has expired on the Water and Sewer Authority, and it's just been a real delight for me to serve in that capacity, especially with my background and being a nuts and bolts guy and being a local plumber. I think I give a neat dimension to the authority, and we're in the middle of a big 5-year capital campaign, and it's just an exciting time. We got 5 people that really have gelled and worked well, and with Mr. Flanders and Janice Lee and the staff, it's amazing how, and maybe Mark can comment on this, the rapport that we have with our partners, which is Upper, Lower, and West Pottsgrove. I've been trying to attend as many of those morning meetings once a month as I can, since we're involved, with millions of dollars. So I would just like to have your support. I'd like to, give a little bit more time. It's an area of my expertise, and I just enjoy it. I'm just asking for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it for the citizens' comment. Mayor's report.
I'd just like to briefly make a few points. Just getting acclimated, so I don't have too much to say. But I would like to highlight something that I noticed in the police department. They have a collaboration with the District Attorney's Office in Montgomery County, as well as the federal government, to collect prescription medicines that are in excess. And from what I hear, it's a very successful program, and I would encourage everyone to promote it. And even if we couldn't, because I've come in contact with several people interacting with hospice, and the hospice directed them to destroy their meds, and this would have been a great opportunity for them to discharge those medicines without having to take that personal responsibility. Second thing, in having meetings with Chief Drumheller, there was recently commendations given out to members of the police department, and there was quite a heavy packet of these commendations. But I'd just like to say that in knowing that crime does exist in the world, and in spite of our best intentions and hearts at will to eradicate crime in the world, the best effort is to have laws and those who enforce laws to constrain the lawless. Now, for those who are abiding become the object of the unsettling conditions. But some of the commendations that I was reading through were exemplifying bravery, exemplifying some very savvy and respectful, even towards perpetrators, to actually cause them to willfully admit they're wrong. So I believe what we have here is a police force that has good direction and leadership, training, and redirection as needed, and that those things that are coming up consistently and persistently in our community are best attended to by the neighbor next door who calls in anonymously, or the neighbor next door who writes a letter anonymously, or however they like to do it, to have these things handled by professionals, not me, or anyone who's not trained to be a detective or a police officer, but those who are professionally savvy to get the job done. You may remember that during the time of the swearing-in ceremony, I did mention about 100 days of transition, and that 100 days is ends on April 16th. So I'm really giving myself that much latitude to reinstate some of the initiatives that were started during the last term. And one of those initiatives is an office on faith-based, which is not exclusive to clergy and is open to individuals and groups prone to participate, not forced to participate. For mayor's offices and other offices to have faith-based initiatives is not a spiritual focus. From my perspective, it is a focus on values. It is a focus on bringing strong values into the voice of those who have a constant ear to the people who come with an intentional purpose of receiving what they have. And I believe that with so many houses of worship and different styles of faith, that through this initiative, it's just one thread. No one particular thread, person, or group is going to magically stardust, transform everything that's right and make everything that's wrong and make everything that's right grandiose all of a sudden. But I know in my heart that it's a continuum, and that as we continue to work together and to, bring out the best of whatever we're trying to do and stay within the guidelines of the process, we'll get much farther than any other way. That's just all I'd like to share with you in this.
Okay, thank you. Any comments or questions? Two things for me. One, the prescription drugs. I'm glad you brought that up. And Aram will echo this. The worst thing you can do is flush those drugs down the toilet, because it gets in the stream system and so forth, and it's a bad thing. And thank you very much for those kind words about those appointments. Especially sometimes don't give them enough kudos. Manager's report.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. I want the council to be aware that the president of the library board, the Honorable William Yon, has expressed a sincere thank you to Borough Council for the increase in library funding for this year. Also let council know that after having been bonded at 11 a.m. this morning, the Mayor Thomas swore in our tax collector. Mrs. Barbara Taroni is now the tax collector for the Borough of Pottstown, and she has indicated her desire for the borough to continue collecting the taxes for her. I'd also like to report that the database that we needed from county is here, so we're good to go. Regarding taxes, some of you may be aware, I know I've talked about this in the past, prior to 2014, the school district was the collecting entity, the entity that sent the letters out, sent the bills out, processed the taxes, and then dispersed them. Beginning this year, after a year of preparation, the borough will begin assuming that role, and the school district will be stepping back and allowing us to collect the taxes and disperse it towards them. As a reminder, the next joint school district and borough council meeting will be held on Tuesday, February the 25th at 7 p.m. It will be at the Steel River Playhouse. And last but not least, also in regard to the school district, this year, I believe, as mentioned before, represents the 175th anniversary of the Pottstown School District. I've been told by Mr. Sparagana, superintendent, that in May of this year, the school district will be conducting a month-long series of events in that regard, and the borough will be supporting to help throughout the month of May to make sure that that celebration is a success for the school district. And that's the end of the report, sir.
Okay, just one thing, if you could bring up, probably Doug, this would be you. We've been seeing some comments and I'm getting some phone calls concerning the white lines and the stop white lines that are being put on some of the roads and so forth. You just want to bring up what that's about and what it's for?
Be in preparation of the detour to.
Yeah, that's in preparation of a sewer project we have going on Hanover Street between Jefferson and 4th Street. That project includes putting a siphon system in underneath the creek over there for sewage. The roadway will be totally closed for probably about 2 months, depending on weather. And in preparation for that, we have to detour the traffic from northbound Hanover Street over to Charlotte, northbound to Charlotte over to Wilson, and Wilson back over to Farmington Avenue, and reverse. The reason the stop bars had to be moved is because the radiuses for tractor trailers to turn would force cars that are stopped at the stop bars to back up, and that may not be possible. So all the stop bars have been moved back in preparation for the detour.
So I just want to clear that up, make sure that's on the record. If you remember the last time, some of your council made, when they tried to do that work before on Hanover Street, they had put up a light and they were like detouring traffic back and forth. This way is going to be closed the entire way because the road is going to have to be opened up. So, and the businesses around there are being notified that
Yes.
this is occurring. Okay. And residents. Okay, subcommittee reports. Finance did not meet. Anything from the Pottstown School Board? I don't see Mr. Williams. Anything? Library, Mr. Green gave it the other day, his report. Mayor, anything from Human Relations? Okay. Perdita, Sheila, anything you want to bring up?
Just we welcome your support with Ross and Nicole joining the board. We're reorganizing the chair and all of that. We postponed till next month simply because we want Nicole and Ross to have input on that.
COG, I guess it was a meeting. DAC, there was a meeting. Regional planning, we did not meet, and related property.
We did meet. I want to take this time to make the announcement that beginning of the year 2014, we're changing our meeting date to the third Wednesday of the month.
Is that the same for planning too then?
I'll report that then. But, yes, it's the same for planning.
And Dan, the time for the meeting is 4:30 or 4 o'clock?
4:30 for the lighted and 7 p.m. for planning.
Okay, no unfinished business and new business. Start with our letter A, motion to adopt a resolution appointing Janet Lee, Finance Director, and Marley Casper, Accounting Administrator, as liaisons between the Borough of Pottstown and Berkheimer.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Motion to authorize the borough manager to send a letter of support to Lower Pottsgrove Township in reconsideration of its contribution to the Pottstown Regional Public Library.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Motion to adopt an ordinance amending parking limitations and charges for parking permit spaces.
Moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to ratify the mayor's disciplinary action of a suspension upon a police officer.
Moved.
Been moved. Second by Ms. Councilor Culver. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to grant the request, of Relay for Life Committee to waive the park and rec fees for the May 3rd, 2014 event in the amount not to exceed $435. Been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd only ask that, Mr. President, that you explain to those in attendance that we do this for a very few and limited category.
Yeah, there's, I think, most of them are for the relay that we allow, like the Board for Life.
Right.
A couple others that we do this for, the Memorial Day Parade. So there's just 2 or 3 that we do this for.
And the budget is so tight, we just can't entertain it.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Mr. President, I'd like to also say whether the fees are waived or whether the fees are not waived, when particular groups use public spaces or properties for events, those groups typically have to provide an insurance rider for $1 million of liability for any hazards that happen during that use. So just for clarity, whoever that is, that, you know, it's not indemnifying thing to waive the fee, but you know, that should always be known and documented as well.
I'm sure Mr. Conley takes care of that, make sure that's done, but thank you for bringing that up. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Motion to award the bid for chemical packle to USALCO as set forth in the bid tabulation of December 18th, 2013, and subject to review of our borough solicitor.
So moved. Second, sir.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I think Councilor Call waited at least 4 months before she said that. Thank you guys for speaking up, making the motions. Okay, motion to award traffic signs, street signs and posts, items 1A through 1K and 1S through 1V to Custom Products, Jackson, Mississippi, as set forth on the bid tab for December 30th, 2013, and subject to review of the borough solicitor.
Moved. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to award traffic street signs and posts items 1L through 1R and items 2 and 3 to D.E. Gemmel Incorporated, Red Lion, Pennsylvania, as set forth in the bid tabs of December 30th, 2013, and subject to review of the borough solicitor.
Moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to award bid for street line painting, center line and lane lines, and street line painting crosswalks, stop bars, etc. to A1 Traffic Control, Douglas, Pennsylvania, as set forth on the bid tabs of December 30th, 2013, and subject to review of the borough solicitor.
Moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to award highway materials bituminous concrete and crushed stones to Reading Materials, Skippack, Pennsylvania, as set forth in the bid tabs of December 30th, 2013, and subject to review of the borough solicitor.
So moved. Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to award bid for water pipes and fittings, items 1 through 10 and 12 through 18 to LB Water Services Incorporated, Ephrata, Pennsylvania, as set forth in the bid tabs of December 30th, 2013, and subject to review of our borough solicitor.
Moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to award bid for water pipes and fittings, items number 11 to Rio Supply, Hatboro, Pennsylvania, set forth in bid tabs of December 30th, 2013, subject to review of our borough solicitor.
Moved.
It's been moved
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, for this next motion is to appoint a Pottstown Borough Authority, an individual. We have two individuals that have come forward. One of them is Ron Ecker, and the other one is Councilor Cheryl Miller. I'd like a motion for, this is a 5-year term to expire January 1, 2019.
I make a motion to appoint Aram Ecker.
Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, I just want to comment that Aram has done a great job for this board, and thank you for stepping up and the past 5 years, and hopefully the council will give you another 5 years. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
1 nay. Okay, motion to appoint, congratulations, by the way. Motion to appoint 4 individuals to the Blighted Property Review Committee for 1-year terms to expire December 31st. We have people that have come forward are Councilor Wien, Councilor Proskal, Councilor Miller, Resident Shirillo, and Resident Mark Gibson. And we need 4 of these. 2 of them must be, or 1 person must be from the Planning Commission, 1 person must be from the council, and we have 2 residents at large that are appointed.
I'll make that motion for, starting with Councilor Brian Proskal, Dan Wien, Mark Gibson, and Cheryl Shirillo.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Also on this committee that must be on there is Jerry Nugent, just so that's added to that, and also our solicitor.
Right, and just so you know, the way the ordinance requires a representative from the redevelopment authority, who is Mr. Nugent, he has served on the committee since the beginning, automatic appointment. And then, as the president indicated, you have 1 counselor, 1 planning commission member, and potentially 2 at-large citizens.
Okay, roll call, please.
Vice President Geary.
Aye.
Councilor Kirkland.
Aye.
Councilor Coe. Aye. Councilor Miller. Aye. Councilor Proxel.
Aye.
Councilor Wien.
Aye.
President Trent.
Aye.
Motion carries 7 ayes.
Okay, next motion is to appoint 3 individuals to the Pottstown Downtown Improvement District Authority for 5-year terms to expire January 1, 2019. We have 4 individuals for these 3 positions. One is Ross Belovich, who's in the audience, John Armada, Nicole Taylor, and Mike LaBlanca. Do we need to do these individually, or we have 4 for 3 positions?
3 positions.
Should we do these individually?
Your pleasure, however the motion.
All right, so wait for the motion to proceed.
Ross, Milo, Taylor was the last one.
John Armada and Mike LaBlanca. That came as an email to myself and our manager, Landers. Yeah, John Armada, who currently is on. Nicole Taylor, she's from the bank. Ross Belovich he's in the audience. And Mike LaBlanca.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Belovich, Mr. Armada, and Ms. Taylor.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, next one, motion to adopt a resolution appointing an individual to the zoning hearing board for a 3-year term to expire January 1, 2017. We have 2 individuals, one, Mark Patrizzi, who is the current member that his term is up, and the second person is Mike LaBonca. Okay, Mark Patrizzi has been nominated. Do we have a second?
Second.
Been nominated and second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this next one, don't everyone jump up at one time. Motion to appoint a borough councilor as a representative to the Pottstown Police Pension Board. I would gladly fill that position if voted.
I would gladly nominate.
And I would gladly second.
Actually, I sat there for a period, and it only meets quarterly, and it's very, very important.
Oh, it is important, but it's during the day and it's
The
time.
problem is the timing.
And myself having the luxury of being retired, I can attend some of these meetings that pass at work. Oh, by the way, Mary, you're on it too, so. You're automatic.
I'm good.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And I thank you. Motion to grant, or motion to appoint a borough councilor as the Council of Government representative for the borough of Pottstown. Currently, Councilor Culp is the representative, and she has asked to re-up again.
Move to appoint Counselor Cole.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this next one, motion to appoint 2 borough councilors as representative to the Pottstown Metropolitan Regional Planning Committee. Once again, I would like to throw my name in the circle, and also Councilor Proskal has suggested that he would like to serve also. So it would be the 2 of us going to these meetings, and they are very important, and they meet 7 o'clock, fourth Wednesday of the month.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, T, motion to authorize PCTV to televise the citizen comment portion of the Committee of the Whole meetings.
So
Moved.
Moved
Second.
and seconded. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say that with the televising of the public comment, just some kind of hold harmless disclaimer, whether it's needed or not needed, to protect the integrity of the luxury of the comment section being televised, in case there's something that comes up later that's a matter of litigation that this side is held harmless. I don't know if that's needed or not needed, but I feel that that's a statement that I'd like to make.
I don't think that can hurt. That's on most talk shows.
Not that it can hurt or can hurt, but in the event that there is a situation that may arise that would involve litigation, that we'd be held harmless.
I think it's great.
I'm going to ask Art.
What you hear is the opinion
It
of the
is great.
speakers. And
Opinions are great, but sometimes they can cross the lines, and we don't want to be.
I support that.
I'm going to ask our solicitor to weigh in on this.
Yeah, I think, again, you're listening to public comment. It's the comment of the residents. It's certainly nothing this body can control what they say. And if you're inclined to televise it, I think we take it at face value for what it is. I'm not sure under what circumstances we could be held accountable, but certainly I understand your position, Madam Mayor. But if you're inclined to televise the meeting, we're going to televise what's there and what the folks have to say. And just like whether it's televised or not, people stand up Monday night and have public comment. And we certainly advise them that the comments should be relevant, they should be professional. And again, we're not here to criticize or defame anyone through the comments. So frankly, it should be the same course of conduct, whether it be televised or untelevised, because everyone in the room can hear the comments Monday night. Everyone in the room can hear the comments on Wednesday night if you choose to allow that to occur.
Well, there are some people that can't get here for hopefully Mr. Green will come back and repeat his comments in February, so they can go out, they're favorable, and they can go out to all the listening audience.
The only issue I have, and it's really not, I mean, it just goes out to personal preference. I think that the one concern that we discussed when we were first bringing up this matter of making an amendment to the rules for this year going forward, anyway, what I thought we were talking about was whether or not having the television cameras rolling would somehow have a chilling effect on members of the public who may not want to comment, because not everyone is comfortable speaking in public. You know, my personal opinion is if you want to take the time to address council, what you're really doing is addressing the citizenry of the borough, and I think it makes sense to have that portion televised so that all of our constituents can see what goes on.
And should they choose not to, for fear or whatever reason, they can still follow what the President Throne said about contacting their own council on a one-on-one basis. That's always a default.
As we move along with this, and we find that it's becoming an issue with we can certainly amend our motion or our rules at any time, correct?
Yeah, and let me just clarify that, because the rules as had been adopted in the past and the rules that were adopted at reorganization really don't address the televising issue at all. The televising issue has always been really at the pleasure of Borough Council. So whether you choose to televise one meeting or two meetings, it's your vote that can happen any time. So since the rules don't involve the televising, you're basically governing how your TV system, presents the information to the public. So yes, it can be brought up anytime. It doesn't involve a technical rule change, since the rules don't address televising in the first place. So yeah, it's fair game at any time. And if you choose to change it tonight, you can change it back next week, next month, whenever you decide if it's working or not working. But it wouldn't involve the 28-day notice to formally amend the rules, since the rules involving television never changed in the first place. The rules have changed with respect to having public comment at the committee of the whole meeting, but the televising isn't part of the rule change.
If for some reason, and I doubt that this will happen, but if it would happen that some of the comments are inflammatory, derogatory, does Television have the right to censor or delete, or seeing as he's the production company, just trying to get all bases covered?
I don't think they do. It's our meeting, just like we sit up here and we make comments. They're, it's part of our meeting. So if they're just televising it.
That's what I'm thinking.
And again, I wasn't referring to obscenities. I thought you said, derogatory material. I mean, again, that's in the opinion of who's saying it. Obviously, that's a little different.
I didn't want to get too
obscenity.
Just so we know we're on that.
Well, I know from doing radio that most have a 7-second delay, and with television,
Well, he's taking that.
we have a 2-day delay.
We don't have a live.
That's right, it's not live, so we have a 2-day delay to go in there and make sure we run under the FCC rules.
So we want to be compliant with that, but at the same time, I think it's somewhat contradictory to say you want the resident the ability to provide their comment to the public and you're going to televise it, and yet at the same time somehow censor it. And I know that wasn't your point to censor.
No, I think what he's talking about is a string of profanity.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Not that that would happen. Okay, motion is on the floor. It's been seconded. Any other comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And once again, too, those of individuals that are camera shy, they have the opportunity on Monday to present to us on campus. Okay, at this point, it's the appointments by me. Each of these take on, there's enough for everyone. I did confer through email with our council president, and we tried to deal and give everyone their first choice, the vice president. Just keep in mind that some of them were very popular and some weren't. and a couple councilors had agreed after the meeting that they would be able to serve on as many as possible, but there was seats needed to be filled. So I took the pleasure on doing that, because some of these are during the day, and some of our council people work. So going down through, the ad hoc borough garage would consist of myself as the chairman, Councilor Kirkland, and Councilor Foxall. And this will be, and whatever staff is needed. And this will be, will meet as needed. The codes infrastructure, this was the most popular one. Councilor Koff, you will serve as chairman, Councilor Foxall, and Councilor Miller, along with staff, will be on this committee. Finance administration, this will consist of Councilor Wien as the chairman, myself, and Vice President Gary, and we will meet, and this with all the other committees too. You guys decide when you're going to meet and so forth, preferably during work time if it's involving staff, so that we don't have to pay overtime or comp time. So that's, there was some schedules if you want to, whenever they were meeting before, but our meeting is always at 6 o'clock prior to the committee of the whole meeting, which is the Wednesday. Also included with finance administration would be the borough manager, assistant borough manager, and the finance director. Ricketts Community Center would be Councilor Kirkland. Safety Fire would be Vice President Gary as the chairman, Councilor Miller, Councilor Foxall, and along with them, Police Chief, Fire Chief, Fire Marshal, and Mayor Thomas. Transportation, Councilor Koff would serve as the chairman, Councilor Miller, and Councilor Foxall, and whatever staff. I think Erica, you were normally at this meeting, plus our
Airport,
and our consultant. Okay, the Pottstown Neighborhood Partnership. This is the consists of the Washington Street corridor area. This would now include Councilor Foxall and also one codes official. And in the past it was Mr. Sharon, and our borough manager is going to see about that. That's always every 4 months they meet, and it's always at Reverend Brooks Church. So, yeah. And you'll be getting an email from Judy Member on that. Did I miss any? Perdita, yeah, Perdita would be, we already announced those, library, Mr. Green. Keystone Western Gateway would be Councilor Koff, assistant borough manager, Erica Weekly, and they meet as needed. In fact, there is a meeting coming up, I think. Human Relations would be the mayor. Any T's at this point?
I don't think there's any vacancies.
Economic Development, the last one is myself as the chairman, Councilor Wien, and Vice President Gary. Yeah. Then the mayor's on as the Perdita representative. She gives my on Wednesday. Anything else? I think I've got that. Some of these, I tried to fill 3 councilors on in case someone can't make it. At least then there's 2 others, or at least 1 other that is able to be at these meetings and so forth. Okay, any questions? Okay, report of bills.
Motion to pay our expenses in the amount of $1,353,306.73.
And do I have a second? Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Announcements. Start with Mr. Kirkland.
Nothing, thank you.
Councilor Gary?
I do want to take an opportunity, I probably should have done this at the committee of the whole meeting, but to kind of echo Mr. Green's comments about the value of the library to the community. You know, it's one of those, my kids grew up going down there for story time, did the summer reading programs, and you know, I'm very pleased that is a service that we continue to fund at an appropriate level, and I think we should do everything we can to suggest that our regional partners do so also. It is one of those that has a tremendous benefit to the community as a whole. And I'd also like to just take a moment to kind of encourage everybody to take a moment next Monday as we set aside some time to celebrate Martin Luther King Day. Sometimes that's one of those holidays that oftentimes just gets lost as just a day off of work for those that are fortunate enough to work for the government. But you know, I started probably when I was in high school, to just kind of re-listen to his "I Have a Dream" speech on that day. And you know, if anybody hasn't heard it or hasn't heard it recently, I would encourage you to just Google it, whatever you can, and try to keep in mind what was going on at the time that Reverend King gave that speech. And something that always amazes me is how old he was when he gave that speech. Because sometimes we tend to forget as years go by and think that he was a mature 50, 60-year-old adult. He's a very young man. When you hear the eloquence in his speech and just the meaning behind the things that he says, so I would just encourage everybody to take a moment sometime on next Monday to just listen to that speech and think about what it means for us as individuals. Thank you.
Along with that, with his speech, there was just so much compassion in it too. That's totally amazing. Now, there is a community celebration. I think it's at the Wilson Building.
It's the 19th, 4 o'clock.
Is it Sunday or
Sunday.
Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Wilson Building. Councilor William?
Nothing besides thank you for my appointments. And actually, I was hoping to get more calls from my constituents. I'm sure they'll change in the future. But
wait for a good snowstorm.
Yeah.
Councilor Miller? Councilor Miller?
I get plenty of calls from my constituents, and I would like them also to know that beginning in February, now that I have a better handle on my schedule after the committee appointments, the third ward is going to be holding monthly ward meetings. And in February, mid-February, late February will be our first one, and I'll make sure that I have the place and the date and the time for everyone and announce it on PCTV for the PCTV users.